Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line in community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Welcome everyone to another episode of New to Mythics, episode 32. This is a special episode. It's of course starring my good friend Heinrich. I just wanted to take a minute and just say, first off, thank you to people that are watching. Thank you to subscribers, and also thank you to Heinrich, that is a steadfast good guy and watcher and supporter of my show, and just a pillar of the community. Super great guy. He kind of reached out to me and said, hey, I'm new to Mythics. You want to do a episode of like my reaction of first time at Legion's Con? And I was like, that's a great idea. So this is going to be basically the Heinrich show. He is going to give us his complete thoughts and impressions of the first time at Legion's Con, which I'm curious. This is my second time. I'm an old vet now. I've been through it, so I'm definitely interested and curious to. Let me silence my phone. Curious to see or to hear about somebody else's impressions of their first time that they've been there. So let's, without further ado, welcome my good buddy Heinrich. Welcome, my man.
Good evening, Schmerber. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Like you, recovering from the COVID that someone brought to intern and shared amongst everybody. But
who's it? George? George is like, whatever mother effer it was. We're gonna watch the tape and see who had the sniffles and all that. And I'm like, that's a great idea, because there's somebody there that should not have been there. Sorry,
no.
I gotta silence my phone.
Oops. I feel bad because like I can imagine how excited somebody must have been. But it's like, dude, mask up, or just first of all, Corn Boy's not doing too great, and
yes,
watch out for everybody. And but my wife caught it too, and luckily my mother-in-law didn't catch it, because she was on the car ride home for us from Lancaster, Pennsylvania on. So she's
Lancaster.
Yeah. So we were there. We dropped her off on the way up, and we picked her up on the way back. She went to go visit my her daughter, my sister-in-law and a sister.
Yeah.
So she went and spent the weekend with the grandkids and her daughter and son-in-law. So it was a very nice, beautiful week. They had a beautiful weekend, but not as great a weekend as you and I did.
Man. Let's dig in. Let's get started.
Well, the first thing we got to start off is that you went to intern. I didn't win the lottery this year, so hopefully next year, the lottery gods will watch out for me. But how was?
You.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about intern. How was your experience?
I was so excited. I had made a deal with my buddy Brett Stoddard with a T, the photographer, Tidy. Famous within the community for being an amazing human being and photographer. I said, if I get picked, you're my plus. If you get picked, you pick me. And thankfully, I got picked. I'll never forget it. I got a message from Jeremy, and he'd never messaged me before. I mean, we're friends on, Facebook like everybody else, but he'd never really, I think I had sent him an email or something. I didn't want to bug him before, but sorry, I got a cold still. But he sent me a message and said, yo, check your email. And I was like, first off, I'm like, whoa, Jeremy's messaging me. And then I think they were talking about how the day before they were talking about how they were going to announce. So I'm like, what? So I checked my email and it's like, congratulations. And I flagged it and starred it. And so I would never lose it. But congratulations, you've been chosen. It's kind of like Willy Wonka,
You were the chosen one.
Yeah, Augustus Gloop in the flesh here. I'm getting ready to go to Willy Wonka. The downside is you got to wait for, when was that? Geez, he announced
March
it
or
so
April,
long.
March or April, something like that, right?
Yeah. So just having to wait almost a whole year, knowing that you've got the golden ticket and you're getting ready to go in is just, it's so exciting. So the day was quickly approaching now. And I had taken time off. Well, I had started a new job. So I told my new boss, I'm like, Stephanie, I know I'm new. I haven't got a lot of cred yet or reputation, but I really need this time off. So she's like, sure, no problem,
Cool.
So she had the week off. So I took off from Wednesday to Wednesday. And so Wednesday was a travel time. I had made arrangements with my buddy, Andy Cox, Andy the Collector, to drive with him. And so we drove up there Wednesday night. And so the next day, me and Brett went to intern together. Geez, it just being, because I'd never seen the studio. I've been close to it, but I've never actually been there.
Right.
And so just to be there and to look around, it's like this brick complex. It's like an old warehouse, and there's like 3 stories, I think, and it's all brick, and there's like the glass, these old glass window panes, on the side, and there's smokestacks. Like it's like Ace Chemical from like the Batman movie or something. It's a huge complex. And on the back of it, it says, it's got like the green studio, the horse sign.
Yeah.
And there was already a collection of people out there. We're like, should we be early? What time should we get there? So I think it opened at 9, and we left and probably got there like 8:15 or something. So we were hyped, but there was already people there.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of them were people that I knew already. So
Great.
To see them was awesome. I did get to meet my friend Mira. Let me see. I have a picture of her.
Mira.
It was kind of funny because like I knew she was coming, so I was looking forward to meeting her. But it was kind of like people kind of moved out of the way. I heard someone say, "Hey, Mira," and I'm like, "Where is she? Where is she?" And like people kind of moved out of the way, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness, she is a tiny little lady. Like she was so tiny and adorable." I'm like, "You are too cute. I can't say that to you, but you're just an adorable, tiny little human being." And it was just a joy to meet her. And so we go inside. Like there's a lot of people there that had been there before. A lot of people that were invited and stuff. And so they kind of let the people that were most excited, or the new people that had never been there before, they let us go in first.
Oh, wow.
And even then there was so many people and it was kind of crowded. You kind of like file into this hallway, and on either side of you is like old toys and new Mythics, and like stuff that they'd worked on before, and statues and things I think that they had sculpted. And then you hook to the right, and that's kind of the main lobby. And the main lobby has like all the figures on the wall, like their Mythic wall, and it's got all the figures lined up. And there's a lot of space underneath that, so they can keep, there's many waves that they can put, and so that's to your left in the lobby. And then in front of you, there's a big banner that says "Welcome Interns." And then there's a hallway this way and a hallway over here. And then there's 2 offices to your right. And so Jeremy's like, yada, 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 welcome to Intern 24. We're going to break you up into groups of, I don't know, it was like 20 or 30. Talk amongst yourselves for a little bit, and we're going to have breakfast in a few minutes. And so everyone kind of turned left and went down the hallway, and they had like bagels and baked goods and coffee and juice and stuff. And, just saying hi to everybody as you're walking by. Hi. But it's just an amazing, I was kind of surprised at how small their studio is. It's not a big, I would say predominantly it's mostly warehouse. A lot of their space is for cases and cases and cases, like Raiders of the Lost Ark. It just keeps going, you know, boxes and boxes and boxes. And I just wish I had x-ray vision so I could see what all the different things are. I did ask Cornboy, I said, hey, that's you guys' is that you guys' warehouse right there? He's like, yeah. You wanna yeah, sure. So I walked back there and I walked too far, and the couple of guys, whoa, you know, don't go back there. I said, okay, sure. So I turned back around, and I'm like, you know, I didn't see anything. I promise, I didn't see anything. Don't kill me. You know, I don't want to end up in one of the containers or something.
You don't want one of the Sopranos taking you out back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But so we all broke up into different groups, and they showed us, you know, it was nice. We saw like Trevor's photography, like he showed us like how he takes pictures. He has a studio at home.
Yep.
But this studio there is for, I guess, if somebody else takes pictures, or, you know, he's there for some other reason or whatever.
Yeah, he mentioned, like, I guess he had to go take the dragon pictures there, and there was something else.
Yeah,
he's had to go do there too as well. So
yeah, but he's got a nice setup. It's got like a cool castle diorama, and he had like two figures fighting, and so he set that up, and he had like smoke, and he did lights, did all of this elaborate stuff for just like one picture.
Yep.
But it looked, I mean, you could slap it onto the calendar. It could be a new picture that the Horseman released for a new figure or something. That's right. How, I mean, the guy makes it look easy, but it's definitely technically very.
Well, he's the pro, man. He's the one that got he said in the thing that when he first went to go see them at a show, he's like, you guys' pictures are, you know, not so great. Here, let me show you.
I love that story.
Let me show you the pictures I've done. And they're like, ooh.
I mean, yeah.
I'm like,
put his money where his mouth was. And
that's right.
He showed them.
And now he's the photographer of all the great figures from Four Horsemen on. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. And they had Nate. Nate did showed the paintings. He did like the Frankenstein's creature. He did the layout. He showed how he worked on that. And I really like the one with Cameron the painter. He kind of showed his different techniques and stuff, and how painting things can kind of tell a story. So he had a sword that was just a plain sword, and it's like, what does it say about the person that wields it? And the plain sword is like, you know, it's kind of maybe a basic knight, or someone that wants to be a knight, or just someone that's, you know, has an old sword for protection, you know. And then he had like a painted sword with the hand, and it was like a dark blue or something. And what does this say? Well, maybe it's a general or something. And then he had one that was rusted, and then he had one that a sword that had like a green tint, you know. So like the swords kind of told a story based on the different ways that he had painted and different techniques.
That's awesome.
And stuff. But it was cool, and it was really cool to see where these guys, you know, work their magic. It was. We're gonna say something.
I know. I was gonna say, how about Eric? How about Eric's part where he?
That was super cool. So I was really looking forward to that, because I had like so many questions, and I wanted to kind of pick his brain, but I didn't want to annoy him. So like we go into the I think it's like 20 of us. And we go into like, they have like, it's like a big media office kind of, you know, hall of justice where all the superheroes sit at the long table, you know, and he's there at the end of the table, and he's got his computer set up, and there's a screen behind him, and we all kind of like all sit. And there were so many people, like we were lined up, like we were standing and stuff, and they closed the door. And they time it, so they make sure that the time, like it's, you know, you've got, I think it's like 30 minutes per, or 45 minutes or something. I don't know. Time went by like so fast, but
yeah, you're into it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, he boots up his program, and he does like a spiel about, you know, creating, you know, how he, and people ask questions, you know, like how often do you actually, you know, work on it? And he's like, I don't know, 7-8 hours a day is kind of what he was saying. So he's just like building a library of sculptures and things, and so like say he builds a merman, like he designs something and then he'll put it away, and then he'll design something else and put that away, and then like, oh, hey, we're working on this, this new wave of whatever, and maybe we could throw in a merman. Oh yeah, okay, so I've got let me check, and maybe I can change this to make it fit this, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
he's got like a library of a bunch of different sculpts and stuff. So he asked people like, give me some suggestions and I'll show you guys how it's done. And I said female knight. So he's like, okay, female knight. He goes, that's kind of a tough one in the short amount of time, but I'll see what I can do. And then someone else said Wendigo, and then someone else said pumpkin head or something like that. So he's like, oh boy, okay. So he made like a female face first, and I have the pictures. I wish I'd have had the time or taken the time to make slides out of it. But he did a female face first, really beautiful, and then so the program ZBrush, it's like the program that he uses. It's like a ball. It's like a gray ball of clay. And he was talking how he used to use clay for everything, but this is a lot easier and faster and cleaner. So it starts with basically a gray clump, a gray ball. And he kind of like when he's using it's almost like it's his thumbs and his fingers are like shaping it. So like he did like the insets for the eyes. He did the lips, like, around the lips, and like the smile line and like the shape and all of that. Like you could see it, like him like shaping it, with his hands, but it was the computer. And then when the face looked, proper, then he took like another circle and like put it over her face and then cut out like an inlay thing, for her face, so that it looked like a space ball. Spaceballs where they had like the giant helmet. That's what it looked like. And then he kind of shrank it down and then turned it almost into like a bell shaped, and then cut off the face part. And so it became, it's hard to describe, but it was 3D, but like there was layers. So like, there was the face layer, and then he melded the face with the circle. And then on top of that, he put another circle, and that became the visor. And the visor, he gave it ridges and then cut eye holes. And so it became a pumpkin. So the visor would come up and down.
Oh.
So it was a female knight, but with a pumpkin shaped visor, kind of like Hadriana, but not a lion. It was a pumpkin.
Right.
And then he gave like Wendigo horns that were like antlers. It was crazy, but I was like totally enthralled.
Sounds like a future figure obscura.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're like, keep this because this is super cool.
Yeah.
And I apologize after, because I was asking him about different questions about the process and stuff. And I went to him afterwards. I'm like, hey, I hope I didn't seem like I was heckling or interrupting your mental process. He's like, no. He goes, I appreciate you asking questions because it keeps the conversation, it keeps things flowing. If I'm just droning on, maybe people are tuning out. But if people are engaged and asking questions, then it keeps me engaged. And so it's not as just a presentation. It's more like a conversation. Correct. And so that was just wonderful. Like I loved that so much.
That's cool. I would have been there. I would have been the one staring the entire time, just going, "Wow, oh my god, this is cool!" And like that's cool. That's cool being able to engage like that with him.
Yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, so then we just took turns, and so we did different things until about, I'm going to say, noon, and then they had pizza.
Pizza.
And so the armory that's what I was the most excited for also, besides meeting everybody, of course. But the armory was across the parking lot in this other 2-story building.
Oh, okay.
So when it was your turn, so that was one of the stations, was the armory. So when it was your turn to go to the armory, then you go into this building, you go up these stairs, and they have it. So you know what it looks like now, but Jeremy's like, you can't share what this looks like. We want it to be a surprise. So everyone respected that. Like, you could take pictures, but he said don't share them. So I didn't share them with like even family members. I didn't share them with anybody, just because I respect the studio. But for people that didn't get to go or didn't see it, it's basically a canopy with lights. It's a couple of canopies actually, and two or three long tables on each side, so that people can go on either side. There's one or two guys in the middle that answers questions or if you need help. But basically there's cards and baskets, and the baskets have the different parts to build your knight, the armory experience. So you build your knights. There's different colors, different variations, different armor styles, and you kind of just put them together however your imagination is allowing you. And it's a lot of fun. And so we did that. We built those, and then we had pizza there, and it was just a great time. Everyone was just happy and taking pictures and enjoying each other's company. The weather was great. It was just, I think all true fans owe it to themselves to try for intern every year.
Yeah.
Because it really is the best. I'm not gonna say bookend because it's the beginning, but it's just, you get perspective of where it takes place. You know, I would love to see where Hasbro, you know, like I'd love to see their factory or how their think tank and how it works and all that. But, you know, we're not allowed into those type of things. But the Four Horsemen studios, they're kind enough to allow people to come in and spend the day with them and see how they do things. And it's a magic thing. If you're a true fan, you've got to try to, you know, get in there and get that ticket, because it's so much fun. And it's just the people there are so happy to see you. Chris is always, you know, wearing a costume for, you know, every year. So I couldn't recommend it more. I had the best time, and that was a great kickoff to Legion's Con. So, right. Or G-Con, I guess. So G-Con was the next day. So let's talk about that. What time did you get there?
We didn't get there till 2:30 with literally the dragon reveal. Like, we pulled into and my wife was driving, because you were sending me pictures from while I was on the road between Lancaster and New Jersey. And New Jersey. And I'm like looking, I'm just like oohing and on. And I did get the stream finally going. But the volume was kind of like hit and miss on a couple places. So I did see some of the figures, and then they started talking about some of the other stuff. And then, of course, the big dragon reveal. Literally, we pull into the parking lot of the hotel, and it's like, there's the dragon. Like, they pull back the things. It's like, it's like, there it is. There's the dragon. My you know, got a little shade on the thing.
Majestic is the only thing I can, like, no pictures that you and I could take would be able to fully represent the size, the texture, the color, just the effort that went into this. It's like, it's not like any toy dragon that you've ever seen. There's nothing like this. This action figure is.
This is like one of the, you know, Eric calls them one of the 5 pillars, but when you think in terms of like all toys that have ever been created, and someone compared it size wise, just from length and width, to like the old USS GI Joe flag. Yeah. And I never had one, but I remember seeing it in like a Toys R Us. They had one hanging up there, and I was at the point where I was in high school, so I wasn't really collecting Joes that much, but you know, you still were kind of in awe of it. And I've seen one live in person as an adult, so I you know, homage and respect to the guys that did that back in the day. But I got to tell you what, seeing this dragon in person, you want it. You want it, and it's like it literally has changed. Seeing the dragon, getting the sort of okay from my wife, but seeing the dragon.
Hi, Anna.
She's over there, and Billy's sleeping over there.
Oh, Billy.
But it is now affecting me positively of my future purchasing decisions, because I want the dragon. You can have any figure you want in the entire Mythic Legions universe that's been put out right now. I mean, really, you can have anything that's been from the Kickstarter to Leodicius, which they showed. But I'm going to tell you what, that dragon is so impressive. That dragon is just like you got to have it. You have to have it. And there's only one thing stopping you from having it. You. Like if somebody says, "Well, I don't have the money," we'll sell something. Sell a lot of things.
I don't think it's as much as people are. I mean, we don't know yet, obviously. Maybe by the time this airs, I don't think so, but I think maybe January they said they might have
January. I mean, they got to figure out when they're putting it into the order pipeline. I would push it to February, March for when people start getting their tax returns in. So somebody gets a tax return, it's like, oh yeah, here, man, here's my $500 or $600 or whatever it is, But I do think that it is going to be, if you don't get it, you're not going to get it because you just don't want a dragon. And
I mean, it's a penultimate dragon. There's no dragon out there that I've ever seen that would be anything even remotely comparable to that dragon.
No, and I've got one of the Jurassic Park T-Rexes that came out a couple of years back, which was a big one, and they've got some big figures that have come out. I've only got the T-Rex. I mean, I'm going to have to put this in a room where Billy can't see it, because she will be scared to death of this. She will be scared to death. My little golden retriever will be scared to death of this. But
it's probably going to be the size of my dog. I think
possibly.
The dragon might be bigger than Nova, I think.
Yeah. But I will. I had a and we don't have to play it, but there's a video on I loaded up on Facebook and I loaded up on Instagram. Where myself and a few others, we ditched out of the 1,000 swigs early, and Eric is down there talking about it. So I know Jeremy had been talking about it before, but listening to Eric talk about it, you could kind of see like this is the culmination of a lot of things. And we know Corn Boy wanted a dragon. I think everybody wanted a dragon. They just had to wait to try to get to the point where they can do it. And I think like I said, I think if you don't want a dragon, or you say, I just don't have the space. Okay, that's true. A lot of us don't have space, but find the space, find the money,
find a space. Because can you imagine not buying that and just having the miss out feeling when people start to get that dragon showing up at their house and you don't have that? Oh man,
you'll be kicking yourself
up with $500 for that. Come on.
Well, I will say this though too. This dragon is the equivalent of buying an all-in wave of something.
Exactly.
It's exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's a larger wave, but it's an all-in, and we got to figure out if you got to eat ramen for a month or eat ramen for a month.
Make it work.
Make it work. If you gotta skip the Coca-Cola and go to the Sam's Cola, or straight to water, go straight to water. But
do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. Do what you got. I mean, it's a challenge. But it's not insurmountable. But I think that after seeing the work that they put in, and there was also some behind the scenes footage. I was watching the 4 o'clock with Chris and George the other day, and they had some behind the scenes pictures. The dragon came in and they unboxed it. Oh, wow. And the guys were holding it, and you're like,
I saw them holding the dragon. It was looking at it like in awe. Like
they are.
I would love to see it articulate. I can't wait to have them have like the actual, production piece or near final piece in hand and see, because it looks like the wings are able to, they're in ball joints.
Yes, they go out. I saw that.
I want to see the movement of the arms so you can pose it.
There's going to be one of the balls you can grab. You'll be able to grab a figure.
Yeah, I want to put it on a rock like that, like they had there. That would be super cool, man.
Uh,
Or a foam rock. You could get a foam rock and
Foam rock, or get some real rocks and glue it to a board or something like that and paint it and do it up. I mean, it's going to be, it is a quote unquote cornerstone centerpiece of your collection is what it's going to be.
Absolutely. Now, do you think that they'll try to top that? And if so, like, what could they do that would even, like maybe not size, maybe they could make a ship, like a sailboat.
No, no, I don't think. No, I don't think anything. I don't think. No, because I think the dragon. I think the dragon's going to appeal to people. Like, I put it up on a couple of my local toy groups here in the DMV, and I got a couple of people asking me questions. And one person said, "I'm sold. I'll buy it. I'm not going to get any. I'm not collecting anything. Of your other mythic legions, but I will buy that dragon." And so there's going to be the folks, the hardcore fantasy, sci-fi, the folks that have been played D&D for. Could you imagine just, hey, listen, we're playing D&D Friday. Okay, well, I'm the dungeon master. Okay, well, I'm the dragon master. I got the dragon today.
Right. I'm carrying it around with me.
I got the fire. Right. I got the fire accessory that's going to blow out, and I've got the melted skeleton, and I got a melted knight. And I mean, it's going to be amazing. I mean, this is. There's nothing, like I said, the only thing that I would put up against it, but it just not the same as the USS Flag in terms of just big girth and impressiveness.
They said that the flame makes it almost 6 feet.
Yeah.
6 feet long.
I think it's just, I think if you do the flame, the edge of the flame to the edge of the tail uncurled, I think it was 70 some inches long, 71 or 72 inches long.
I can see myself getting the accessories because of the wings.
You might as well, in for penny, in for pound, just go for it.
Exactly.
Because you know what? You don't want to be the one person that goes, well, I didn't get the flame. What? You got a dragon, but you didn't get the flame?
Right. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to, because it's crowdfunded, Kickstarter, or whatever. So you're not going to be able to like get it on a secondary market or anything.
Yeah, the way that I'm trying to remember if it was Eric or Jeremy was talking about it. It's not going to be, I think, I don't know if they have a number that they're going to necessarily going to have to hit, but they said they will have a number so people can see the count going on. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be great no matter what. I don't think anybody's going to, I've yet to see somebody complain about it other than going, well, I wanted it to be this color. Okay, well, guess what? This is Eric's Treadway's dragon. Yeah. He wanted it to be classic green, and that's in my video, by the way.
I saw that. Because he said red is somebody else's dragon. Like
it's Dungeons and Dragons. So it's D&D. And if I were Eric Treadway, I'd be like, I would have just said, "This is my dragon. I'm making." They talked about it. But I was like, "This is my dragon. I want it to be green.
Absolutely.
Make it green." That's it. You know what? If somebody else wants to design a dragon, you can make it whatever color you want. But this is
exactly. But yeah, it's phenomenal. We could talk the whole episode on the majesty of this dragon, and we would still just be scratching the surface. So let's move on. Let's talk about the initial wave.
Yep.
First wave to come out, the G-Con wave here.
The Reign of the Beast.
So I think you've got some pictures here.
I do, yeah. If you click on the little middle button, oops, I'm pointing and you can't even see it. Not that, yeah, there you go. Click a couple, and then there's the dragon again, by the way. Okay, so there we got, there's Basilia, right?
There's Basilia.
So she's immaculate. Those colors are just striking.
Just phenomenal. Beautiful. I love this figure. And I love that they started the reveals with her. Just such a unique, beautiful figure, just and nothing comparable that they've made heretofore. Like they've never made anything that is remotely similar to this figure.
No, this is gorgeous. And this is what you want from one of the beasts, right? This is what you want one of the great beasts. You want it to be striking.
Yeah, I wonder if they had any like thoughts, because Leodicius is bigger than brute scale, right? I wonder if they thought, well, since she's, one of the gods or a great beast or whatever, should she be bigger? I wonder if they had a thought on that.
That's a great question, because I did think about that a little bit too. But I guess just because you're a great beast, it can be a great beast in power. You don't necessarily have to be a great beast in size.
Right.
And she's definitely one a great beast in power as well.
Yeah. And I think the two soldiers are going to look great next to her.
Yeah, I've got. There's
That's
the guy. Jehemin. He's kind of like the djinn that came out before Kalazar.
Right.
And they figured out how to do the smoky trail from the lamp, and he's the bigger one too, right? He's a brute one, so he's like Kalazar and Tharnog and all that.
Yeah, that is a very flashy, beautifully sculpted figure. Very elaborate. There's a lot of flames.
Trevor's picture was like absolutely outstanding for that figure.
For sure. Definitely.
See if you go. I don't know if I have another one here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can see the pride of Leodicius, the Roman inspired soldier, who is going to be their 3.0 figure with the double jointed elbows, the butterfly shoulders, and the knees and all that. He's as impressive a basic figure as you'll find. And then there's the is it Area, the what's she called, the cultist Talon Bearer. Thank you.
Yeah.
From the peanut gallery, the Talon Bearer. She is my after Leodicius and Basilia, she's my third favorite figure in the whole line.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. And that wave.
Yeah. She's got that smaller dragon, the Chinese inspired dragon, and she's got the Bastet arms and legs, and that very cool looking mask, and the headpiece and her robes and her ornaments on her robes, very mysterious. And then you've got the royal guard. Oh yeah, sorry. I think this is the last one I have. There's the royal guard of Leodicius, who is also built upon that kind of serpentine body.
Let's jump onto the onto the horseman's
sword. Yeah. So that's a little better.
Let's see here. Okay.
There we go.
So let's do a little shopping. Let's see what they got here.
But we'll start Greg's order.
Yeah, exactly. Can I borrow your credit card though, real quick?
I don't have it right now, but
Billy's got it.
Billy's she's got
it. We already saw Basilia.
Yep.
So the Serpentshire Royal Guard.
Oh my gosh.
Looks kind of the body. I don't know if it's the same sized body. But it's the same kind of construction. I love how there's the blades.
Yep.
On the tail. That's like super just an extra cool feature.
Lots of hand variations that you can use, 2 head variations.
Yeah.
Bracelets, a necklace. I mean, there's that piece that he talked about that can be used to center or move. You can let go down. It can go down further. So it's the feathers and the necklace there, just absolutely ornamental and colorful. So,
yeah, I think this figure, besides Basilia, I think these are going to be like in hand, are really going to rock. I think we got a really great preview with the Ninian army figure, like just getting a hint at what they can do with these reptilian sculpts. I mean, just the detail they've done here, and look at the colors on the headdress.
Yep.
And the neck piece is just unbelievable.
I can't wait to see the paint jobs. I've seen some paint jobs people are doing on the Ninian Warrior, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do on these guys.
Look at that beautiful head sculpt too.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's just ridiculously amazing. And I feel like I'm seeing a piece from like the cosmic
Oleg.
Well, yeah, the chest looks like Oleg, but these kind of horn pauldrons kind of seem reminiscent of some cosmic waves that haven't yet. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But man, I at first my initial order, I wasn't going to order these guys. I was just going to try and get them at a con. But I think if I'm ordering Basilia, I've got to order 2 of these guys. They're just too damn cool, in my opinion. So here's Araya.
Rhea. She's just
and this is another. Look at that, the faceplate.
I know.
I just wonder, is there more to this that they're not showing?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought someone said it is. There's not. It's just the cover. I mean, it looks like it's a cover, but I don't think there's anything underneath it per se. But I think she lends to herself to, the 3D printing community doing something cool.
Oh yeah,
I love the face. I love the face. I think the face looks
too.
phenomenal. I like how the drapes down there. I think the ornamentation on her is very intriguing. Yeah, I think I see people buying multiples of her just because you can. She could have you could definitely have multiples in different heads and different things, and who is not, or who's part of the cult. So
yeah, it's just so elaborate.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the intricate, her headpiece is just unbelievable, and I laughed when they showed that when he brought the dragon out. I kind of laughed because I'm like, it would be funny if, because at that point we didn't know there was a dragon yet, so the dragon hadn't been released, and I think is either Corn Boy or Joe Vasapolo said, "Here's your dragon, dragon confirmed," and I'm like, and I thought to myself, how gangster would that be if that's the dragon? Here's your dragon. You guys have been calling for a dragon. There's your dragon. It's not the giant, 6-foot dragon that you guys were hoping it would be, but it is a dragon. And I'm like, that would show that they didn't fold under pressure. They didn't care what people were asking for. They did it on their terms. They did it their way.
I knew they weren't gonna just leave you guys leave us hanging.
I just thought that would be so funny though if they did do that. That would be funny as hell.
Yeah.
But I am glad that they had that amazing dragon. But we kind of looked at Jehannam.
Yep.
Jehannam. Brute scale sized. Really beautiful figure. I probably won't order him initially. But it's going to be one of those figures that you see in hand, and it's just going to be just a wow on your shelf, I think.
I think it kind of lends itself to that. If somebody wants to do something different with Aether, that's a bigger body to do something with Aether as well.
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, because I think Michael Xavier almost said that, this is what.
There you go. There's that. You got the Trevor Williams. You got the Carver Customs torches there, and you got that. That just looks like it's literally he's floating.
Yeah, look at that. How it's lit up.
I know, it's gorgeous how he lights that up. Look at that. Oh my God! It looks like it's liquid flame.
Yeah, that's why he's Trevor. That's just amazing. Amazing.
The moonlight coming in the background.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of take yourself back. It's like, oh my God, what's that? It's a demon.
Yeah. I would be lying in fear just like that. I would be immobilized. not able to move at all if I saw that. And so now we've got Windaji.
I just call him the cackler. I just call him
The
the cackler.
cackler. It's a little easier to say.
Yeah.
This figure is also, they're calling it a 3.0 body, which is utilizing double jointed for the first time, butterfly shoulders, bicep swivel, mid torso cut. So I think they're really, I think they're going to use double jointed when it fits, when they think it is deserved. I don't think everything is going to that. And I know a lot of people are like, oh no, we want, compatibility with 2.0. And it's like, let's just wait and see. Mythic Enablers said, wait and see what happens. We don't know yet what's going to be compatible with what. But I think it's cool that they are trying different types of articulation, and we're going to benefit. They're not doing something half-assed. They're not doing something, harebrained scheme. They're very calculated. They know what they're doing. They're professionals, and we're going to reap the benefits.
Well, this is the other thing. They care about the community. I mean,
yes,
they care about the collecting community. They care about the customizing community. You don't worry about it. Like, nobody should be staying up nights or having any angst over it. Wait till the figure comes out. Get it. If you're going to enjoy the figure for just the figure, great. And if you want to do some of your uniqueness or what have you, go for it. I don't think I think there'll be plenty of people that will be happy to grab a second one, pull it apart, figure out what you can and can't do with it. But this figure, I mean, he's impressive, man. Look at that fur. I mean, that looks like real fur.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
It looks like soft fur. It doesn't look like sculpted fur.
And see, I would probably take off these bone pauldrons and just let him kind of be unarmored a little bit, and just let him be more creature. I love the wraps. I've been seeing a lot of wraps on their figures. Tharnog's got the wraps. I've noticed that is it Gaspar, or I think Gaspar has the wraps on his figure. And I'm digging it. I think it's cool. I'm down with the wraps.
Right.
You could probably take them off.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either. I'm just guessing. But I think I would probably take off the pauldrons and just kind of let him rock without. But that's just my personal.
And he's got a couple new swords, new weapons and stuff like that too. No, he's definitely impressive.
That face is awesome. Yeah, I was not real sure about this, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, okay, I'm gonna regret not buying that.
All right.
It's just an incredible. I'm really excited for the Golden Pride of Leandor figure. I actually am ordering a couple. I'm a big knight guy, and I think that this is a cool, a different type of knight, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
I do love the sandaled feet.
Yeah, I'm probably ordering at least two of them. Just I'd like to have one to keep whole and then one to kind of play around with. I like everything that I see with fine as far as the parts. I like the lion helmet. I know some people are like, well, he's not ferocious. I'm like, it's not supposed to be ferocious. It's a helmet cover.
Right.
It's not supposed to be ferocious.
It's a representation of the lion god.
It's like Hadriana's helmet, piece.
Yes.
So, but I'm very interested in just to kind of see it without the pauldrons, without everything, and just seeing how bare you can get it. But
it's
a very, very cool figure.
Yeah.
You can see the snaps right there on the chest armor.
Yes, that detail. Look at the cuts in the shield.
Yeah.
From it being banged. I love that.
The lion head right there.
Yeah. Intricate. For $40, Heinrich, come on now.
I'm telling you.
$40. I mean, what else? You're going out to Chinese food. You know, what else are you going to be able to get for $40? That is just ridiculous. That head reminds me kind of the Attila head,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite head sculpts. Like that head sculpt would look good on so many different knights and figures. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm stoked. I'm very probably the most besides Basilia. This is probably my number two, and then area after that.
The sword he has is very reminiscent. I don't know how close it is. I'll have to look at it versus the one I have from the first Gladiator movie. It's not
Yeah.
a replica sword that was done based on the movie. The company no longer exists. Was called Factory X, and
Yeah.
I mean that's an awesome sword to hold, and you know that'll be cool. I like that you see the arm pauldrons come, the forearms come off, so that's kind of interesting too. That's why I'm like I'm very interested in this figure. I think this figure is going to be very cool for customs and for other things.
Oh,
not just this guy. I think people are going to be using it for a lot of different things.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Like you said, I look forward to see him without all the armor, to see what's underneath. Looks like you'll have the chest.
Yep.
This chest piece will be part of the sculpt with the sleeves.
Yeah.
Puffs come off. But yeah, it's just gonna be a great figure. It looks like this piece probably comes off to the leather skirt piece. Right. But yeah, I'm stoked, man. Has there been a release window for this wave? Have they said anything like?
I think they're talking 2026. I think it's mid 2026.
Yeah,
there it is, right there, mid 2026 release.
Bad. That's not bad.
No.
They said that there's already a lot of work going on with this already. I know they're working on All-Star 6 now that Necronominus is done. So I'm just curious of how it's coming. So let's finish up with this beautiful.
It's my favorite figure of the line, man.
Oh my God.
I like lions and I like this. I've been waiting for this figure.
Just the majesty, just the regalness. Look at the face. It's just and look at the headdress and the necklace, the eagles on the the cape. There's just so much. I mean, I can't imagine how long it took him to sculpt this, just the intricacies.
And also trying to make it work, because it's, and I like it that you got total of 3 different heads.
Yeah.
So he is absolutely impressive. I know some people were complaining about the headdress, but I'm like, that headdress has been around since the beginning on a lot of different things with Leodicius. Yeah. It's iconic at this point in time. So don't worry about it. When it comes out, enjoy it. Just
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love how Cornboy also held up that hammer. Like, can't wait for this hammer to be an actual, toy that, and I think they compared the hammer that's in existence. What is it, like the Attila hammer? Yeah. Compared to this hammer, and it's like, whoa, this is Big Daddy's hammer right here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
That's just amazing. Just amazing. Yeah. So I'm just assuming, are you all in? Are you going to cherry pick?
I'm probably going to cherry pick just because the dragon's coming. I'm definitely Leodicius, definitely Basilia, and area. I'm going to have to think about the other ones to see. I may get one of the Pride of Leander just to kind of have him initially.
Right.
I'm okay with the other ones to try to pick them up later.
So let's delve into your experience now that we've kind of gone over the wave. Let's delve back into your experience at Legions Con.
All right, cool.
If you were there. Go ahead. Sorry.
was going to say, go down a couple more if you want to go to the beginning with the people, because that's where.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go down one more row below the Harry Potter. There you go. Me and Joe, the Joes and the Everett
There
Miller's.
you go. Yeah.
There you go. So literally we checked into the hotel, got in our room. My wife was a little tired, so she took a nap. I went downstairs, and literally this was right where the dragon is. And I met Joe, and hey, let's grab a picture. And everybody's looking cool and having fun. Everett's ducking in there. It was a blast. I mean, literally it's like, not even 5 minutes into, like, after unpacking, it's like I'm downstairs and hanging out with everybody. It was fun. It was
Kind of
fun.
surreal though, right? Like I have that moment. Like I've seen a decent chunk of these guys recently at IshCon, but it's just surreal to start seeing everyone basically in this community all in one place celebrating, the horsemen and their, achievements.
Well, my wife had the best line when my mother-in-law asked on the ride home, what was it like? She goes, everybody had a smile from the moment we walked in the door until we left. Everybody was happy.
100%.
Everybody is genuine. There's no false, there's no fake people at the show.
No.
Everybody's there to have an amazing time.
Just genuine happiness and like you said, joy.
Yeah, and I there is a little bit of sensory overload. I will say that, but not here. This is Friday. This is fun. This is meeting people. And there's some other pictures. Joe there, man. Joe G, first of all, is phenomenal, man. He's got a great sense of humor.
Joe G is one of the great guys.
Yeah.
The voice, the mustache. He's just so unique and funny and smart and interesting.
I feel like I could walk down any street in America with Joe G by my side, and that'd be okay.
You'd be okay. Yeah,
I'd be okay. Joe, okay. They look at him and they just give the head chin nod, and you'd walk by, and Joe's cool.
When I saw him, I kind of did a double take, because I've seen him on 100 shows. He's been on my show. We've talked, we've chatted, and it was almost like I took for granted been in the same building as him, but I never had. And so when I saw him, I kind of did a double take, like, Joe. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Joe, you're tall. And he's like, why does everyone keep saying that? Why does everyone say that?
It's his camera angle, man. It's his camera.
I'm like, Joe, I just didn't expect you to be as tall as you are. And so I kind of excuse me, I kind of just teased him about that the whole time I saw him. I was just like, Joe, how tall are you, Joe? This is crazy.
But I will tell you this: 2 minutes before this picture is taken, I got pictures with the ogre, thanks to my buddy Jordan. But Curtis Ackerman sees me and just gives me, and I think he's a couple pictures in here, just comes over, great big bear hug, boom. It's like, welcome to Legion's Con, boom, and you're in.
Isn't that the best?
It's like there's no initiation, folks. You're in the door.
Yes, if you show up, you're in, man. And you've not to sidetrack, but you have really embraced this community, and you see how much the community has embraced you and Anna. You know what I mean? Both of you coming to Legion's Con, and people get to meet you and shake your hand or give you a hug or give you a sticker. Like you're elbow deep into it. Like you are fully embraced and embracing in the community.
No, I met again, 2 minutes before this, I met Curtis, I met Trevor, I met Nate. And Trevor was, they had a million things going on because they were trying to get into the room and do all this stuff. But again, everybody's like, "Hi, I'm Heinrich Hofmann." Oh, Heinrich! It's like, everybody's like, "Oh, wow!" It's like, okay, great to meet you in person and stuff. It reminded me of the whole weekend of Legion's Con. Reminded me of the opening theme of Cheers. I
Yes.
want to go where everybody knows your name, and everybody knows.
Yes.
Everybody knew my name. Like and
Isn't
it
that
was,
a great feeling?
it is.
I mean, it's overwhelming. Like I was walking down the hallways and Schmerber, hey, and like, can I get a picture with you? And I'm like, sure. And I'm like, I don't know who that was, but I'm so happy to meet everybody
You're a rock
and
star,
hug
man.
and give stickers and shake hands and you know what I mean? Like I'm here with my people.
Yep.
I am soaking it up. I am enjoying it. I might have a little scratchy. I might have a sore throat and a cough, but man, I am in there. I am in that lobby. I'm in the halls
Yep.
and just saying hi to everyone. Every time I would come around the corner and see Heinrich Hofmann or David Williams or Trevor or Cornboy, hey, hi. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whoever I would see, I was just always so happy to see them. And because it's like you only see them maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Just depends on the cons that you get to go to. But, everyone is welcome and everyone is happy to see you and to be there.
Yeah.
And everyone has that same joy. It's just infectious.
No, it's tight. So let's look at some of the other pictures because there's a bunch of other people we see. You'll notice some. You'll know some of these other faces here. Other than me and the ogre.
There he is, right there.
Here's me and Curtis. Me and Big Curtis. Curtis is decked out, man. He was sharp.
Oh man, yeah. He had his majestic hat on. He is a showman, and he is all heart. Like that guy is. I call him kind of like the dad in the community. Just welcoming, friendly, kind, smart, sarcastic, funny.
Yep.
We'll tease you and give you shit, but also we'll love you and hug you and protect you and take care of whatever need you might have and be there for you. So
quick funny story about Curtis. Like we were up in the room for the 1,000 Swigs and they're doing some giveaways to kind of kill time till Jeremy got there. And so Curtis was pulling names out of the hat. So he was having a little fun and goes, he'd pull a name out of the hat and go, Curtis Ackerman. Just kidding. And so then we kind of had this lull. And then Trevor's like, well, I'll take a picture. I'll pull a name out of the hat and I'll take a picture and do a print for somebody. So he's going over there to pull the name out of it. And I yell from the back of the room, like, not Curtis Ackerman. So the whole room laughs. And then Trevor pulls the name out and it's like, it's Curtis Ackerman. He just was shaking his head. He's like, no, look. He's like, he held it to Terrence. He's like, look who it is. He's like, it's Curtis.
That's
he's great. I love Curtis. And his wife Darla is such a sweetheart. She is
so kind. So kind. Very sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
There's me, and my IG cut me off, but there's my good friend from Spain, Mark Calvo.
Yeah.
And Cullen. Everybody knows Cullen, the man.
Everyone knows Cullen.
Mark Calvo, again, one of the great guys. He and I communicated via Messenger. I pre-ordered 3 heads from him and picked up another 3 while he was here. And he's just is a absolutely true artist.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful work. I mean, I wanted to pick up custom heads from like several different artists, and I was happy to pre-order the 3 so I could make sure I got it, the ones I really wanted. But I picked up a few others, and they're just, I've got them in my collection, and I'm so proud and honored to have them.
Absolutely.
And Cullen's great. Ran into Cullen so many times. He helped.
Cullen's a great dude. He is a great moderator of the community. He's, a welcoming face and hand. He was actually probably the first person that recognized me and knew my last name or, a variation of it. When I had met him, I was still new to the community. And I had met him at PowerCon, I think, for the first time. And he's like, hey, Schmerber? I'm like, yeah, that's me, man. And it just made me feel so good that somebody in the community cared or knew who I was.
Yeah.
And remembered me. So it was awesome. And
I traded with Cullen back in the spring during the Mythic mystery boxes. I traded with him.
Yeah.
This is a cool picture. So this is during the Friday Chris Ferrone Mythic Bits. He gave Eric and the studio this really cool 3D printed 25th anniversary.
Awesome.
And Eric was blown away. Eric was
Yeah,
totally
that's
blown
awesome.
away. And I took a picture and I sent it to, message Chris, because Chris and I had DM'd before the show because I was interested in some of his pieces.
Yeah,
And
he's got good stuff. He's
yeah,
got good stuff.
and I literally ended up standing there and talking to Eric between Chris and then another gentleman who came by, like for almost 20 minutes. We talked about Star Wars. We talked
Yeah,
about family. I showed him my Egyptian setup. I told him how much I enjoyed the Anubis and Basset.
yeah,
And, I said, everything's great. But I was like, I love seeing how in the interviews, how passionate you were about the Egyptian mythology, because I am as
absolutely.
well. And I showed him my David Williams painted Egyptian goddesses, and he was impressed by that. So, Jeremy had said in an earlier interview about how it's like everybody's approachable.
Yes,
they're
100%.
and they are absolutely 100%. And I would encourage anybody, if you go to Legions Con, if you've never spoken to Eric, go up and introduce yourself. Hi, Eric, and just talk. He's very easy to talk to. He's such a great guy. Talk about family. Talk about what you love about what he's done. He's such an easygoing guy, and I didn't feel bad. I was like, I wasn't keeping track of time, but I was like, man, I'm kind of talking to Eric for a while. Coming up, is everybody else scared of talking to Eric? Because really, he's right here. He really is.
Yeah, and he will take the time and talk to you about whatever you want to talk about. Like he and I in a hotel were just talking about our dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and he was totally happy talking about dogs.
Yeah. He's one, and his birthday is November 4th, which is 3 days before mine. So I was like, I wish him happy birthday. And
yeah, super great guy. Definitely a fan. This guy right here, the ambassador, the creator of the Cabal, Walter Hagen. Super great guy.
There it is.
Yeah.
I saw Walter probably a dozen times during the weekend.
Oh yeah, he was everywhere. We actually had dinner in the pub one night, and it was just
cool.
It was a highlight. Him and Dennis Derby, and my friend Eugene and Nick Campbell. It was one of the highlights of my trip.
Did you hear the story about Dennis Derby?
Maybe
the Saturday night. So Saturday night after Pop and Swap. Okay. I'm sorry. Whatever the Chris James Pop and Swap, trading and all that.
Yeah.
I'm walking back toward my room, and in the area where the dragon is an area, and Dennis is set up painting, and Walter's there, and there's probably about 20 other people there just kind of watching Dennis paint. Dennis stayed up until 4 o'clock in the morning. He painted 40 heads.
Oh my God. They're at Legions Con.
And yeah, they're at Legions Con. And so went to bed for a couple hours, got up, was out, at 7:45 to the room. He put the heads out for sale, and they were gone in an hour.
Yeah.
And he told me this Saturday night, like when he was drinking, we were having a beverage after the show.
Yeah.
And I was we were laughing. He's telling Walter, he's like, I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Walter's like, you did? He's like, dude, I just was in the zone.
Yeah. And what a guy. Like, he's one of the most generous, kind, interesting, funny people that you'll meet. Like, he is one of those that just doesn't give a shit, but has a heart of gold,
Yeah.
Just a huge, amazing person, and tall and regal and funny. Yeah, I'm a fan. That guy is solid gold.
I love seeing his work. I got so many pictures of his work. So,
and Walter too is such a great guy. Very funny. Like, I always give him shit because I'm like, when I first saw him, I saw him at PowerCon for the first time. I knew who he was, but I didn't really know anything about him. And he had shorts and flip-flops. And I think it was winter or near winter, maybe. Well, no, maybe it was summer. Anyways, I said, this guy's got to be a fellow Californian, because everyone's got pants and shoes, and this guy's rocking flip-flops and shorts. And I went over to him, and that's the first thing I said to him was like, where are you from, man? He goes, Cali. I go, me too, man. And I laughed because he was rocking the flip-flops. No, and that's all he wears. That's his uniform.
That's cool, man. That's the best.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great guy for sure.
There's me and Tanya McCoy from Legion's Ladies, which is on right now, or maybe it's off by now. But they're interviewing Jeremy Gerard while we're
Yeah,
recording.
we're gonna have to rewatch that. Sorry, Tanya. I keep calling her Tonya. Sorry, Tanya. We're gonna have to rewatch. Super awesome lady. I run into her in the customizing studio a lot. But she's really talented lady, and her husband Kevin is a great guy too.
Oh, he's not. He's super nice. So there's me and the big dragon.
I love that lounge area. That's one of my favorite places. Just hang out.
Yeah.
There used to be more couches there, kind of over
right
in the area over here where the dragon is. They used to have some couches, and so there was more area to sit. There was coffee tables and stuff there.
Me and the Dork Lair, man. Bill. That was one of my goals, is to meet Bill there.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. There's something about his voice that's just comforting and unique. It's kind of nasally, but I love his voice. He's just got a great voice. Yeah, I love his reviews. Really great guy. He actually gave me a ride back to the studio from Intern. We were at Intern together, and he gave me a ride back. Cool. It was me and Toy Bro, Jared, and Recon Rage. And it was just a weird combination of us. And it was fun. We went to Wegmans after the Intern, and we were all kind of shopping, and we're wearing like our different, Cabal t-shirts or whatever. Right. People were looking at us like, where did you guys come from? It's kind of a weird combination of people here. But, a couple of us forgot toothbrushes and stuff like that. Okay. We've got 100 Cabal shirts, but we forgot our toothbrushes.
I hear it. Bill on Sunday after the Swigs was trying to take pictures of we call it the Butter Dragon, right? So
yes,
and all that. And so Bill was trying to put his hand up so he could show how big that dragon. And I was like, "Hey, Bill, do you want to borrow my swig so you can put?" "Oh yeah, that'd be great." So I pulled my swig from the 1,000 Swigs. I don't have a picture of that, but Bill showed it this past week on Dork Lair. So he showed the picture of my. He took the picture with my swig, and he put it right next to the front leg, and awesome. So like when I'm watching it, and Bill comes up with the picture, and I'm like, yeah, there goes my. And it's like, that's my swig. And Bill goes, "Yep, that Heinrich let me borrow his swig," and he pulled it right out of his bag, and I snapped a couple pictures with it. So
that's awesome.
But you look at Eric's smile; you can tell how proud he is of that.
He should be proud. So this was the third dragon. This is like what you call the Butter Dragon. Now people are calling it the Butter Dragon, but this is a third version. So they had two in the displays, one with wings kind of more open, right, with the flame.
Yep.
And then another one kind of posed majestically on a rock. And then this one was kind of, like a prototype.
This is the one that shows off the articulation and stuff like that from the factory. So
did you get to see the articulation? Like, I didn't catch it.
I did not see it in person, but I saw a video later because that's where I saw the wings go.
Yeah,
using the whatever the method is, but I did see the wings. Eric or Jeremy did something with the wings, so you could see that. That's where they could see the joints and everything, how that was moving and stuff like that. There was a piece. I think there's a neck piece missing, which is why the head isn't attached to the neck appropriately. But yeah, no, it's cool.
And I know my buddy Mark got to actually hold the head, so I was very jealous. Yeah. But it was like his whole palm, his whole head fit in his hand.
Dork Lair Bill was holding it. Honestly, I was too scared to. I didn't want to.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to be the guy that
I didn't want to be that. Yeah, drop.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything. There should be a few more, I think. After. Oh, there's Artoris Zoran art.
Yes. What an amazing artist this guy is. And just kind and quiet and friendly, soft spoken. I ran into him in the elevator once or twice. Okay. Super nice guy.
If you don't own one of his masterworks, you need to. I
need a head sculpt at least.
You've got to get a couple. You got to get something painted from him. And you got to get there early. You got to get there early Saturday because it's not.
Did you see that one he did with the spider? It was like a female with oh my God.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
And there's I got cut off from because of IG, but it's me. There's my lovely bride Anna, and that's Amber Anderson, who's a fellow collector on the Cabal, and she and I communicated. She was on a couple of Eternia Dreams. He did some live sales, and so she and I were DMing, talking about stuff ahead of time. So she's great. Her brother was there.
Super nice. Yeah, she's a big collector. She's got a lot of mythic figures.
Her toy room, very impressive. She's got a katana from the Jabba's sail barge.
Wow.
So she's got a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. I tease her because I had reached out to her when she was kind of newer to the community, and I said, hey, would you be interested in being new to Mythics? And she was kind of like not standoffish, but kind of like suspicious, like, who are you, bro? Like, who are you? And what's this show about? And I'm like, well, it's about people that are new to Mythics. I love to hear their story about how they, are found the toy line. And yeah, let me look into it. I'm not really, I don't think so. And so I tease her now. I'm like, yeah, thanks for rejecting me on my, on my show. She's like, no, I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. I'm like, no worries. It's cool. It's cool. So I'll be one day.
Schmerber, I'll put a good word in for you. Okay?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. If you could vouch for me, just say I'm a semi-decent guy. I would appreciate that because I would love to have more ladies on the show. We definitely need some more ladies on here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now here's again one of the people that I was so excited to meet.
This guy, legend.
Emil Wickman. Oh my God, this guy. Again, so funny, so genuine, so creative. So
yes.
I mean his figures. I posted one of my pictures I took of his table. He's got the Alley Viper and Bat from G.I. Joe.
Yes, I love
he made out of Mythics, and I posted it, and people were going crazy on my G.I. Joe classified Facebook group. They're like, who or what is this? I said, this is Emil Wickman, and by the way, you can't afford this.
Right?
This figure is 10 times what you normally pay, because it's a work of art. And so I was like, well, I don't understand. How does he do that? I'm like, it's a work of art, man. It's a one of a kind. This guy does amazing stuff. I got him to sign the book that he did with Nate. I got both him, Nate to sign it, and I know a couple people that bought pieces. Of course, Big Dub bought several pieces.
Mark actually bought the Colossus from.
Okay, cool, very cool. I know my new buddy Matt bought a few pieces from Emil, and I'm just like, just let me know when you got it.
Which Matt is this?
He doesn't go by Matt on the Cabal. He uses his wife's name. So.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, is it my Matt? Is it my Matt Van Fossen?
He lives in Frederick, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't know him. He was there with the son.
One of the nicest. Emil is just one of the nicest guys ever. Love that dude.
While I can't afford to buy one of his customs, I've gotten the subscription to the Bond box, and also I got the God's Fire. So speaking of the Bond box, there's Mr. Brian Burke himself. Honor and a pleasure to meet him.
Yes. I bought one of the helmets off of his table. I'm a new fan. Like, I didn't really pay attention to his stuff, and it's not because it wasn't deserved. I just am not a big customizer, so I don't really look at a lot of custom pieces or painted or unpainted things. It's just not really on my radar. I love Mythics as they are, but when he had some unpainted skeleton helmets, and I'm like, I want these. So I bought one of those, and I painted up last weekend in the customizing studio.
Oh, cool!
And I think it turned out pretty good. Good.
I got to tell you what, I saw. I forget who the gentleman was that he was on their podcast. I saw it like literally the week before I went to Legion's Con. And it was like a 3-hour thing, and I was like watching like an hour of it, and he's great. He's one that I would definitely put on the list. I would put on the list for new to Mythics because he needs to be on here. He's
too big for my show.
No.
Too big, man. He's like, I got no time for you. He's gonna be like Amber, like, nah, let me watch an episode. I don't think so.
I talked to him for you.
Vouch for me again, man. Vouch for me again. You're gonna be my agent.
I'll be your Ed McMahon, man. I'll be signing up for everybody.
That. Yeah, be my Ed McMahon. Hey-o. But super nice guy. I ran into him a few times. My buddy Brett bought like 3 of his painted rusted skeletons right off the table. He just bought all 3.
Cool.
They're just amazing. I can't drop that, man.
No, me neither.
These guys buying these customs.
No.
But I admire everything. Like, I'm not a custom guy, but the artistry that these guys, the sculpting and stuff, I tip my hat because, or tip my beanie. Just these guys are phenomenal talents.
Well, when I get some of my Von Bach stuff painted up by people, I'll shoot you over some pictures and
sure,
because the Von boxes are cool. Noah Pratt, man,
this guy, what can you say?
A very cool guy. Loved everything on his table. He also he made a stop on his way to Legion's Con in Milwaukee and picked up Dennis Derby's stuff for the show, including 3 figures I got from Dennis, and hauled it all the way here, and then Dennis's butt all the way back. I told him thank you for that, first of all, and I bought something. I bought a head from him that was one of the old MF, my action figure. It's a very regal. I don't know if I have that one, but it's in my thing. But it's a very. I saw that head and I was like, I want that head. I got to have that one because that's a regal head. It's a very king oriented head. I was like, yeah, I've used it for a different one, but I liked it because I was like, you can use that. He's super talented, great guy. Great guy. The enablers are phenomenal too. So they're fantastic.
Yeah. If anyone that has not checked out their show, give it a listen. It's informative, it's fun, it's entertaining, and they're all great guys in person. Noah I've known longer than anyone else in the community. We were friends back in the early Mezco days.
Okay.
We had been cool back then, and I give him crap now because I'm like, why didn't you tell me about Mythics, man? He's like, I don't know, I didn't think about it. So I'm like, I could have been a Kickstarter Mythic fan, but I didn't have the friend introducing me. So but I'm here now, and I'm glad that he and I are buddies still. And
cool, man.
Always happy to see him. Unfortunately, I only see him, at Legion's Con. Hopefully this year he'll make it to Muskie Con. Okay. I don't know if he was there last year. I didn't make it last year because I was in Vermont, but I was there the year before. So I'm hoping that he will make the drive out to Muskie Con. I can give him another hug and sport my Mythic Enabler shirt.
I know. I love my Mythic Enabler shirt. I bought a
great shirt.
Yeah.
Great guys.
Jose Torres.
Look at that shirt. Jose? Yeah, look at that shirt, man.
I know, man. Jose Torres, man. He is. Yeah, we were both wearing our Schmerber shirts, except I didn't get a good picture of it. But I got to tell you what, man. That guy's great. That guy is. We were talking. We were having some shots with our buddy Ken Austria, and then I saw his Facebook haul of what he picked up.
Yeah.
And literally, I think Jose went and got one of every figure on everybody's table.
Yeah, great guy, great guy. He was at, what show was that? I think it was a Cabinet of Curiosities up in like Connecticut or Maryland or somewhere, and Patrick Boyle was there, and I had met Patrick Boyle at, I think it was ZoloCon. And he did a custom of Mordred from Excalibur. And I told Jose, I said, hey, if you see Patrick Boyle, if he's got an unpainted head sculpt, please see if he'll sell it and pick it up and ship it to me, please. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And the dude bought custom. He bought the custom that I had loved. I'm looking at it right now.
Cool.
And he just shipped it to me like, here you go, bro. And I'm like, no, man, that's too much. So me and Jose are tight. That dude is one of the coolest, nicest, kindest. So I tried to reciprocate. I sent him one of my female barbarian figures that I love. But that guy is just a solid dude. And inside scoop is that he's going to premiere with the Mi Amigos on a future episode of New to Mythics. So he will be
awesome.
He will be on the show very soon.
All right, cool, man. He's a good guy to have on. He'll be fun. I'll be watching.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's see coming up here.
Got a few more.
Okay.
There's my buddy. This is the most, I think somebody called him the MVB, the most valuable baker, Ken Austria. If you didn't have a Ken Austria cookie
I did not.
At Legion's, you didn't? Oh, you should have told me, man. I would have sent you something. I ate them all.
Damn it.
Ken is Ken made cookies so he can meet people because he's very shy, which is very funny because you don't think he is, but he is. And he puts the sea salt in the chocolate chip cookies that you bite into it with the chocolate. It's like, oh my God, my mouth is having a party. And it's like, yeah, this is it. So he made a bunch of cookies for the Horsemen. He was giving out cookies left and right. So there's your dog. So which one's that?
Yep. Nova.
Hi, Nova. Hi, sweetheart.
It's time. She's ready to lay down, she says. A little bit longer. We got a little bit more talking, and then I'll come to bed.
A little bit more, Nova.
Yeah, a little bit more.
But
more
become friends with anybody. Become friends with Ken Austria before next Legion's Con, so you can get a cookie.
Absolutely, I'm not above that for sure. Oh man,
you know who this is? G&T. You had him on before Legion's Con.
G&T. Yep. Two wonderful people. This whole picture I love. Great guys. I love G. Everybody loves G.
Everybody loves G.
Kwesegwe is just one of the greatest. I mean, he's all heart, just encapsulated goodness, kindness, generosity, humor.
Funny. Oh my God, so
everything good, man.
I was laughing my butt off at you guys you guys were talking about ElfQuest. And I was like, wow. I was like, it's interesting because like ElfQuest was one of those ones where I was doing the comics and stuff like that. There you go. I remember picking it up and reading it. Oh, here you go. The next picture here is my buddy David Williams.
Oh man.
It's my buddy David. I got the T-shirt. I got the sketch on the ash can from David.
That's awesome, man.
I bought a Thrace head from David, painted up. So it's my third painted head from David. David's great. David's. I'm so happy for David with everything that he's doing.
Absolutely. What a talent.
He's got the figure, tribute figure coming out. He's got the images that are going to be in the Jeremy book coming out next year. He did the pins for the show. David, is there anybody having a better year than David? I don't know.
Right? And one of the nicest people, one of the genuinely most kind, nice, approachable, friendly. It's unreal. It makes me sick. This guy is too nice, too kind, too everything.
He's everything.
Oh, that guy.
I'm happy for him. Very happy for him.
Me too. Oh, look at these.
There we go.
Look at these guys right here. I was so grateful that we got to finally get a little bit of lobby time. It might have been Monday, Sunday night. I don't remember what day it was.
Sunday night we got the lobby time. We saw each other Friday because I took the picture with you and the Horseman.
That's right.
And I should have been. I was chicken. I should have gotten you to take a picture of me with them. I was a little chicken at that point. I was like, whoa.
Even for me, like I've taken many pictures, and I'm not tooting my horn at all, but I've taken many pictures with them, and I get nervous every time because I don't want to bother them. These guys are like, these guys are the creators. These guys are the pillars, the foundation. These are the horsemen.
Yeah.
So I always have a hard time it's easier when they're separate. You know, when they're all together, it's like, oh my God, this is too much star power right here.
A little intimidating, but yeah, that's cool.
But next time, let me know and I will take a picture for sure.
Definitely.
You got to have it so you could frame it.
I would love to have it. It's me and Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor and Trevor was over at the Noble Bear Customs table, and I was over there because I was trying to get over there, I think Saturday, and like there was just a swarm of people. So I got over there. I think it was like, I thought it was Sunday, and I'm looking at, and I just happened to look down. This guy is like he's like very, very right into the figure heads. I'm like, well, I don't want to get in this guy's space, you know. I'll stand over here, you know, to the side. And so I'm standing to the side. I'm like, oh, hey, Trevor, what's up? He's like, hey, Heinrich, how you doing? And I was like, you're trying to decide between a couple? Yeah, I'm trying to decide between this two and this two. Get both of them. No, I got a budget, you know. All right, well, take your time, man. Nobody's rushing.
Yeah, take your time.
So we took a picture, and he picked out his, and then I picked out mine.
What a great guy. That's all I could say. Always nice to me when he sees me, remembers me, which is an honor unto itself. Yeah. If anyone remembers me, it's like, thank you for even remembering who I am. It's an honor. But one of the nicest, most approachable guys as well. Such a culture within the studio of just nice, genuine people. You know, there's not a jerk among them. And it's just nice. It's just refreshing.
Yeah, I wish I could have gotten a picture with Nate Barsh. Nate and I talked about some stuff.
Yeah, Nate's a great guy too.
Yeah, I think if you go up to the Eric, the one with Eric there, I've got some more pictures real quick. We can thumb through it quick. So there's me.
That's a great dude. That is a great picture right there. I am a little jealous. I did not get a picture near the dragon with Eric Treadway the dragon. That's just, you got scapular in the background. This is a great shot, dude. I love this.
Thank you, Schmarber. You got to hang out with me, man.
I know, man. You're rubbing elbows with people that I didn't even get. I mean, you're getting the shots, man. You're getting the people. That's a beautiful, beautiful picture.
Tanya McCoy took the picture for me, so thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, that's a great shot, dude. That's another keeper.
Me and Big Dennis.
Yeah, and you got Bill back there, Mancuso.
Oh yeah, he's
unmistakable. You can't mistake that guy. That's definitely the Bill. But Dennis is such a unique, great guy. Like, I've never seen him turn anyone away. I've never seen him not be helpful to anybody in the community. So anyone that's new to Mythics, look up Dennis Derby. Like, Absolutely. If you have any questions, if you're looking to buy a piece from him, or just looking for parts, this guy probably has 50 of them.
And if you see something he posts and you have a question about it, ask him. He will answer you, no problem. Absolutely. I've seen people ask questions, and he goes, oh yeah, you do this, and that. So, but he's again super, like everybody, super friendly.
Or you can ask him about birds. He would answer your bird questions too.
Yeah. Me and the Wolf King,
the birthday boy.
Yeah, birthday boy. Happy birthday, Lenny. So I met Len and Jordan and Jesse and Van at the Maryland Toy Expo. So this was not the first time that I'd met Len. His beautiful bride, the Wolf Queen, took this picture of us.
Yeah.
And then I've got the God's Fire. You see the God's Fire.
Yes.
And got the
exhibit.
Got the coin. Yep. I ordered the coin, so I got the coin.
Yeah, that coin is awesome.
That's a super sweet thing.
That's a keepsake right there, man.
And then I bought one of the God's Fire sets. Joe G's gonna help me out getting some that painted up. And then he gave me a free Wolf King customs pin. And Sunday I'm packing up, and my wife's looking at some of the stuff because she hadn't seen it. She goes, "Where'd you get that pin?" I was like, "Well, Lenny gave it to me." "Well, I want that." I'm like, "Well, it's mine." And I was like, you get everything after I die. You get everything.
Absolutely, yeah. Just wait around.
She's like, "No, I want my own." So I was like, "All right, well, you're gonna order something from Lenny anyway. So here, I'll ask him if he has another one." He did, so he threw it in the order for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, the same thing happened to me. I got a Diego, the the shipping customer service amazing guy gave me a free Four Horsemen pin that's
Sweet.
purple, like glittery purple at
Nice.
IshCon. And my girlfriend, fiance is like, yep, that's mine. I'm like, don't, I wanted that. So I'm like, okay, I conceded. Here you go. It's yours. You want it. It's yours.
But I'm gonna tell you right now,
yes.
if you're a customizer, if you're looking for stuff, make sure you stop by the Wolf King. He's also the Wolf Den page.
Yes.
Swag. Yeah.
Get your Cabal shirts there, which are super soft and wonderful. Sweatshirts.
And he did the hoodies, the Cabal hoodies that he did pre-order for the show. I ordered a regular hoodie and a zip hoodie, and then I also got the thermal ones. And
nice.
I got that thermal one, man. Oh, that is.
I'll have to connect you with my buddy Brian Carr, because Brian Carr wanted to buy a sweatshirt, but he was not sure about how the sizes were. So
they're good, man. I got 2X because I like mine a little roomy, and that was.
Have you met Brian Carr?
I might have run into him at Legion's Con.
Okay, yeah, we were kind of hanging out. He's kind of new to the line, but such a great guy. I'm a fan of that dude. Yeah. Super good guy.
I actually got Mark Calvo to pre-order his hoodie before the show, and so he picked it up and he was wearing it during the show. He loved it, so it's
yeah. Lynn is one of the nicest dudes too. He's just so kind.
Len and Jordan and Van, the Purple Gang and
what can you say about
Will
those
White?
Guys? The best.
Oh my God, love him, man.
The best.
And I think there should be a Jordan picture in here. I think.
Speaking of the best, this guy right here,
my man,
and Steph Delatour is one of the nicest dudes. Like, just one of the nicest people.
He wants to be on New to Mythics.
Yeah, I got to reach out to him. I will connect with him and see if we got some free time. But he's too big for my show, man.
No. He wants to be on. He's
too big. He's too big for me, man.
Steph would do the interview in a bathroom if he had to. He's all right.
Yeah, he's such a great guy. I'm a huge fan of his. Just as a human being, he's just one of the best guys. Love that guy.
I will tell you this. There's me and Jordan, but Steph has got great stuff, man. He's got great stuff.
Oh man, yeah. I've got some flaming swords from him. He's
about the chair, man. About the throne.
Oh yeah, amazing stuff. And speaking of amazing, Jordan is another great guy. Just positive, smart, funny, creative. Just what can you say about this guy? He's just one of the best dudes.
Jordan was very welcoming when I went to Maryland Toy Expo, and again, I had a trade set up with Len, so he and I communicated. But meeting Jordan, which I didn't know the whole Purple Gang stuff, really too much, and but talking to Jordan, talking to Van, talking to Jesse, talking to Marty Max, and a few other folks that we were hanging out.
Yeah.
Imagine this is the way imagine having Legion's Con in a broom closet, and that's what it was like at Maryland Toy Expo, where there was literally a dozen to maybe 24 of us that were we stopped by, we talked for about 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. We go walk around the show, grab a drink, come back, and we were congregating around the table, and we talked to people as they were buying stuff.
Absolutely.
And, so everybody's feeling good. So it's
yeah. Once you're done picking up your figures, it's time to talk. It's time to visit, get to know each other. Absolutely. Marty Max is one of my favorite. Chris and Jamie, they're the best people.
They are. Oh, they got cut off by IG, but there's Johnny and Newt.
Excuse me. Yeah, those are great costumes. I love that Swig costume.
All weekend long, man, they were in and out wearing great costumes. So if you ever want to do cosplay, reach out to them because they've done it.
Yeah, their costumes are insane. Beautiful work.
Did you see their table?
No, I didn't know they had a table.
Yeah, they had a table.
Oh no, I saw it. I saw it because
in the armory room.
Yeah, Steph was there. She was kind of watching the while they were out making their rounds. And I saw Rebecca as Kaylee and Shun, and I was just blown away. And him as Novi and Lean, I was just like, these costumes are ridiculous.
They had some stuff at the table, and I got to tell you what, I
Amazing.
took some pictures. It's on my IG here later on, but we don't have to go through that tonight. But people can see it if they want to see what the table looked like. It was impressive.
Amazing.
And that
Oh,
was our way home. On our way home.
that's awesome. I'm super grateful that you brought her and that we were able to connect and communicate and hang out. And I love that. I really wanted to bring my fiance Rhiannon, but she had to work and stuff.
Oh,
So
that sucks.
next
Next
time.
time. But she enjoyed talking to your friend Mark. She had a good time Sunday talking to your friend Mark and
Good.
Stefan and other people. So she was having a good time with with everything.
Yeah. So let's wrap up your impression. It's been an hour and 40.
Yeah.
What's your overall impression? What's your final thoughts on Legions Con 24?
I've been to San Diego Comic-Con twice in my life. I've been to New York. No, actually, I'm sorry, not New York. I've been to Philadelphia a couple times for shows, and I've been to Chicago. I've done lots of comic book shows and stuff like that. But Legions Con was the best. Everybody was phenomenal to meet. The figures are unbelievable, but the creativity that's in the room, the vendor room. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I've got the Armory experience was like one of my favorite. That's a Mark Calvo head. This is a tribute figure to my great grandfather, who was a huntsman for the last Habsburg Emperor of Austria.
Wow, that's awesome.
There was the surprise figure. I took the picture of it, but there's the surprise figure. This year's Valiant Knight.
Beautiful.
And then these guys were just so much fun to play with, and I'm glad that it went through smoothly. Hats off to Kirby Smith with the Kirby app creator.
Absolutely.
Kirby was unable to attend Legions Con this year, which was a bummer. And I had actually had a total of nine nights, and I sent Kirby one of my nights.
That's so cool, man. I love that you did that, dude.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And I wanted to do as a thank you because I said, Kirby, without your incredible, unselfish gift that you put your time and effort into, people would have been stuck there going, oh, do I want that one or this one?
Absolutely.
Literally, you could spend an hour on his app just playing around and copying the pictures or saving the pictures like I did to my phone. Because when I went through with Anna, I gave Anna the easy ones to do, and I took the complicated ones. Unfortunately, we didn't know that the brown and the black looked similar on the leather. So I sent a little note to Jeremy. He's like, hey, can you put the names and colors on the front, not just the back?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because it was hard to see with the lights. The lights were a little troublesome.
Right.
But I ended up trading with somebody. That was a great thing. If you were in line, you met people to the side of you. You talked about stuff, and it was, I met Chris, who runs ChrisCon. He didn't have it this year, but he's going to try to bring it back next year. But yeah, the Armory experience was phenomenal. The Horseman store was great. Cookie and Vernon were doing a great job. Dustin was the gatekeeper there, the bouncer.
Had the shades and dude, super cool dude.
Yeah, Diego running, and Bill Mancuso and everybody running the registers. And
love all those guys. They're all great dudes.
Yeah, CJ Jessup and his wife Keith Lynn. I pre-ordered some stuff and they were there, and I ran into them a couple of times. Everybody was, like I said, was welcoming. Monday was the tough part to leave, because I just spent 2 days, actually 2.5 days really with everybody. And we want to spend more time together. So I don't know, maybe one day Jeremy and Joe will figure out a way to, get an extra day out of the whole thing. And, maybe just move everything back a thing, maybe have intern on Tuesday and G-Con on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the 4-day show. The toughest part is you got to budget out for all those days, because that's what I did. My buddy Zach had gone last year, and he said, Heinrich, budget, like literally don't spend all your money the first hour you're in the show. And he said, save something for Sunday, because otherwise you're just walking around looking at everything and you're just like, what am I doing? But I saved money. I spent money on my some of my final dollars on Sunday, and then Ann and I went out and had lunch at Wegmans, and then we came back, and then I went and took pictures with everybody, and then we came downstairs after dinner and we hung out with everybody in the lobby. And that lobby time is great because you're just relaxing, you're chilling. Joe Martinez and Michael Morales and I sat down on Friday afternoon, and Joe pulled out his customs to show us, and he sold 4 of them right there on the table. And we ended up Sunday afternoon at that table again, the 3 of us. And I said, we just need to put the reservation sign on for next year. This is
absolutely.
This is what it's about. It's about the relationships. It's about the people that you meet. And, again, if I can help somebody, I'm glad to help, if it's just even answering a question, stuff, people we've worked out trades with, Mira, who you took a picture with and mentioning, she and I are doing a trade right now for something. And,
nice.
Which we're working it out, and we'll have it, in the mail this weekend to each other. And, she and I actually sat at a table together at the Pop and Swap, because she had her stuff as she was walking around, and she's like, well, is anybody using this part of the table? I'm like, no, here, let's take this jacket out of the way. It's not even my jacket. Let's sit it back here. And you can sit your wares out here on the table. And you didn't come by Pop and Swap, did you?
I did, but it was closing down when I had made my way out that way.
I would say this, Pop and Swap is the underappreciated part of the show too, because everybody's just, looking for stuff. People are talking about stuff. What do you have? What are you looking for? What are you looking to trade? Chris James came by my table and I had an Alithia head. He's like, oh, I want that. I'm like, okay. He's like, come by my table. I'm like, all right, I got it right here, man. Don't worry about it. Hold it back for you.
Yeah.
Tanya McCoy came by. She found I had a jacket from which I forget, G.I. Joe or McFarlane figure that she needed for a custom. She's like, I just don't have anything to trade. I'm like, just take it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You took some pictures for me. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I love that.
So it was fun.
Community. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, no. But I would definitely say if you haven't been to Legion's Con, find a way to get there. Find a way to get there. Everybody's there. Everybody's having a good time. It's not hard to get to anything. There's some restaurants around town. There's Wegmans down the street. There's everybody. If you don't have a ride, if you're flying in, find out who has a card and maybe get a ride with them. But it was good stuff. It was good stuff. It's a great time. You're not gonna regret it.
Not at all. Not at all. Great time. Great friends. And just the time of your life, just, you said it best. It's you got to go. You got to experience it. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for the idea of having, you coming on and recapping and talking about what we saw, what we experienced, and sharing it. I really appreciate it. You're one of my good buddies here in the community.
Oh, thank you.
And I appreciate it. You've reached out to me and we've become friends, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being open. Thanks for having me. I know the first time we did it, I was a little nervous, but I was like, okay, I'm going to do this because, it's something I wanted to do to participate again in the community. And, I think having a cool show like this for people to kind of see is like, hey, what's Legion's Con like? Well, this is what it's like. It's the people. You're gonna get the figures. You're gonna get the customs. You're gonna get all that stuff.
Yeah.
But boy, you're gonna come back with all these fun relationships.
Yes.
And you're gonna be communicating.
Yes.
You're gonna see you're gonna be on here, or you can be on the other podcasts and on the chats. And everybody's like, hey, how you doing? I had so many people after posting that had COVID. I had so many people checking it. Heinrich, how you doing? How are you and Anna feeling? Are you guys okay? More people within the cabal were checking in on me or asking me during the chats than people on Facebook. So
they're real people. This community is filled with real people, and looking at my phone, I've got maybe 2 dragon. none of the reveals. It's all just friends. It's all the people, you know, and the experiences that I had seeing everybody and meeting everybody and all that. That's priceless to me. You know, it's great seeing the figures. That's what we're there for, is the reveals and the toys and all that. But man, just seeing all my friends, you know, in one place, it's priceless. It's priceless.
Absolutely. So pleasure seeing you there, and we'll definitely see you there. Well, we'll talk about it. Maybe next year, right? Maybe next year.
I'm working on it. Supposed to get married. I'm getting married, so we'll see.
There's the what's over there? There's a place over there in New York that you can get married at.
What about Niagara Falls?
You go to Niagara Falls. That's a little further north. There's not the Berkshires. What's the place up in New York? I don't know. There's some resort there. You can get married there. We'll find a way. The hotel.
We'll work it out.
The hotel does do weddings.
She might disown me though. You know, she might leave me there. She's like, you know what? I'm over this Legion's crap, man. I don't love it as much as you do.
She needs to just embrace it. That's all. You know what you can do? You could do New York City for your honeymoon too.
She wants to see New York City. She wanted to go this year, and we couldn't make it happen. But we're working on it.
Do a limo ride through New York City, man. For your.
That's romantic. That's romantic. Champagne.
Yep. Get a night at the one of the fancy schmancy hotels.
You're onto something here. You're onto something.
You do.
Yeah. We'll talk more. We'll talk more.
The mythic wedding.
There you go. There you go. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you to Anna. Thank you to Billy. Thank you guys very much. The Hofmann House. I appreciate your time, and you're welcome on anytime you want to come on. Just shoot me a message. Say, hey, I'm ready to come back, and I'll have you on. No problem.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Hanging out with you, and I appreciate everything, man. Thank you, everyone that stuck with us. We had a 2-hour episode, but I think it was informative. There was a lot to digest and see and absorb, and hopefully you guys got something out of it and had a good show.
All right. Have a good one,
Thanks,
Thank you so much, man.
See you, man.
See you.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.